Do you want to learn more about food allergies and just how do you navigate them? What happens if someone eats something they're allergic to? Are you sick of being treated differently because you have food allergies? Then watch this video. I'm Dr. Renee, and yes, I'm a medical doctor, but I am here to talk to you about asthma and food allergies today. I am one who suffers from both. I wouldn't say suffers. I live a really fabulous life with both food allergies and asthma. And hopefully you will watch these videos and you'll pick up some tips and tricks on how to do the same in your life. My mission is to help you to live the life you deserve. So if you would like to do that, make sure you subscribe, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to know exactly when I upload new videos, then you want to hit the notification bell. So today we're talking about food allergies. As I have alluded to in past videos, did you see my video? What is asthma? How do you know if you have asthma? In this video, I'm going to tell you about my story. So when I was born, I had trouble breathing. They figured out I had asthma. Well, after my mother was trying to feed me oatmeal at about 2 months old, I was getting sick. They then figured out I had an allergy to oatmeal. Well, I had allergy tests and found out I was allergic to seafood. I cannot smell seafood cooking, nor can I ingest it. Citrus fruits, wheat, rye, barley, eggs, chocolate, nuts. And so there's a whole lot of other things because those things are a part of like mayonnaise. Mayonnaise has eggs in it, can't eat mayonnaise. Cheesecake has a lot of eggs, can't have cheesecake. So there's a whole lot of other things that go with that, but that is my list. So I recently, as in maybe in the last 5-6 years, have become a member of a lot of communities on Facebook. And in these communities, I have parents that have children with food allergies, and then I have adults that have recently, as in adulthood, been diagnosed with food allergies. Now, as someone who has lived with food allergies my whole life, I am an expert because I've navigated my whole life with food allergies. So first thing I like to tell you is that my parents ate everything that I couldn't eat in the house with me. They did not give up or stop eating anything. My mother knew that I had allergies to the smell of seafood cooking. So what did she do? She cooked it outside, cooked it in the garage, cooked it in places so that it wasn't in the house permeating where I would smell it and get sick. Because obviously she'd have to be the one to take me to the hospital. So she didn't want to go to the ER. But otherwise they did eat nuts, which I can't even touch nuts. They ate citrus fruits. I can touch the outside of an orange, but I can't definitely have anything to do with orange juice or anything inside of an orange. You know, all sorts of things they ate. So I asked her one day as a child, like, how did I know what I was allergic to? And she was very clear. She said, you know, you wanted to eat something, you'd ask, and I would tell you, you can't have that, you're allergic. I don't remember not knowing. Like, all I remember is knowing that I had these food allergies. So somehow in my little brain, I was able to completely put this list together, and I knew what I was allergic to, what I could eat, and what I couldn't eat. I was very clear at an early age. Now, I am the oldest. I have a sister that's 2.5 years younger than me. She also knows exactly what I'm allergic to. Now, the funny thing is, as a child, she would try things when my parents weren't around. She couldn't always say exactly what it was that was in the food that I couldn't eat, but she was my taste tester, and she would say, nah, you can't eat this, or yes, you can eat this is safe. But she was right 90% of the time, probably more than that. Mind you, as a child, I traveled with and without my parents. I've traveled on the plane even without my parents and went places without them. My parents really did a great job of empowering me with the information, so I knew. And because of them, I knew how to speak up for myself. I knew what to say. I knew to tell people, I am okay with going places and not eating. I'm okay with eating before I come or eating when I get home. I'm okay with that. And I think if you're someone with food allergies, you just have to be okay with that. And I grew up this way, so I'm okay with it. And I have tons of friends. I've lived in several countries that were in the islands. You know, we were surrounded by water, so seafood was a big deal. And knock on wood, I never got sick because I knew how to take care of myself and I knew what to say, I knew what to do. Now, my food allergies lead to anaphylaxis. What is anaphylaxis? So anaphylaxis is when you ingest, or like I said, I can smell seafood cooking and get sick, or some people have reactions to bee stings that are just as violent, and a flood of chemicals come into the body. These chemicals can cause a quick drop in blood pressure, nausea and vomiting, weak pulse, all sorts of things. And so this is why you hear so much about these auto injectors, auto epinephrine injectors, Auvi-Q or an EpiPen. They quickly give you a very large dose of epinephrine, which helps to bring your blood pressure up. This is why it is so important, if you are someone who suffers from any kind of anaphylaxis, that you carry one of these, because this could be literally the shot that could save your life. There are many people that have died from food allergies or other allergies because they did not have an auto-injector around, And by the time 911 came, they just couldn't make it. So it's really, really important that you do have them and then that you go to the hospital immediately after the injection, solely because it's such a large dose of epinephrine. You might feel like your heart's beating out of your chest or something, so you need to be monitored. And plus, there might be a second reaction that comes later, and you should just be monitored so that we know that you come through it successfully. So that's anaphylaxis. In a later video, I'll talk all about auto injectors, and I have Auto-Qs, I'll tell you. That's what I have. I used to have EpiPens, but we'll talk about what happened with EpiPen 2 in that video. I really encourage parents of children with food allergies to please don't treat them so differently than the other children or differently than yourselves, because the real world isn't going to do that. And so that's where I'm really grateful to my parents, because I have lived everywhere, because I knew what to do. I knew how to handle myself. I knew what to say. I knew what questions to ask. So I can be around people and it's not a big deal. I know what to do. I know how to handle myself. So if you are somebody who literally wipes your house clean of everything that your child is allergic to, that's not the real world. Real restaurants are not going to not have what you're allergic to just because you're allergic to it. No. So it's just best that you teach your child how to adapt to the surroundings, because let's face it, not everyone in the world has food allergies, and then not everyone's going to have the same food allergies as you. So it's just better to teach them to adapt themselves to their surroundings, which is what my parents did. And I'm very grateful that they did. Now, I will tell you, at my house, there are none of my allergens there because, hello, it's me, and I'm not going to eat them. So when my parents come to visit, they usually bring some of their contraband. Specifically, usually it's nuts. And I'm like, okay, if you're going to eat them, just please make sure you don't drop them on the floor and that you throw them in the garbage, because I can't touch nutshells without having to severely wash my hands. That's the thing. I think about the only allergen you would find in my house would be eggs. And that's because I can eat things that have eggs in them. For instance, like cornbread, pancakes, but I can't eat scrambled eggs or omelets, but I can have things that have it cooked in them. And so I'll crack an egg and then I have to quickly wash my hands with soap and water to make sure I get all of it off of me. And then I won't get sick. And I've never gotten sick because I was cooking myself. Now, there is a story of a little girl who was helping her mom and cracked a whole bunch of eggs and was just sitting there in a bunch of eggs while her mother tended to her baby sister, and she had a severe asthma attack and had to go to the ER. And that might have been me. But that's probably the only time that I've had. Okay, so thankfully she survived and she's still here. So I just really want to encourage you. Food allergies now are very common. So please be kind to people that have food allergies and ask questions if you're inviting people over. But if you're going to someplace and they don't ask questions, then you need to ask, well, what are you serving? And I'm going to bring such and such because that might be what you can eat, Or would you mind doing this, keeping this away? I have one friend who really looks out for me, and she had a seafood dish. And so she had the non-seafood one in a whole nother room so that there would be no cross-contamination, no confusion with spoons or anything. And I appreciated that because obviously that saved me from being sick. Now, I personally can eat at a table in a room with people that are eating seafood. As long as they don't touch my plate and I don't touch theirs, we're fine. And then as long as I wasn't there for the preparation part, smelling it cooking. So at restaurants, it's a rare restaurant you walk in and you smell the food cooking. No, you just smell everyone's dishes as they're eating, right? So I used to eat a Red Lobster a lot because my padre likes it. But I'm fine and I've not had a problem. I've eaten a lot of places that are mainly seafood places because they have a chicken or a beef dish or something that I could eat. Or I just didn't eat it all because like I told you, I have no problems going places and just not eating at all. But I hope that you've picked up some tidbit of something during this video, and you will definitely pay attention and be a little kinder to people that do have food allergies. So if you can, if you know someone that's food allergies, or if you are that person that's food allergies, do me a favor, write it in the comments below. Let's have a discussion about it. And I want to see how I can help, because it isn't the end of the world. I've seen so many people, the parents are so sad for the children. I'm telling you, I live a really great life. And I've ate a lot of great food. I'm not a foodie like my sister, which is okay because that's not my thing. Just please, please, please don't worry. They're going to be okay. So I hope that you have picked up something, and I hope you will subscribe. And if you want to know when the next video is coming, hit the little notification bell. But if you want to know more about me, here's my reel. And if you want to see another video that YouTube thinks that you'll like on my channel, check out this one here. Thank you. See you next time.